Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Silver Fang, and today I'm back with another video. So today I'm gonna talk about, as you read in the title, DIARMUID. And this is part of a new series that I decided to do. This is the first episode, which is called um, Why Blank is Stronger Than You Think. And I decided to do this because I noticed, or I've noticed, that there's like so many servants that are underestimated or underappreciated by the fandom, who are incredibly useful and incredibly powerful. And a lot of fans, they underestimate these servants for various reasons. Maybe they haven't made an anime appearance. Maybe they haven't been seen in the visual novels, or they're rated as a 2-star, 3-star servant on the FGO game. Various reasons, but there's a lot of servants out there that are powerful, super powerful, that I've noticed that are greatly underestimated by the fandom. And I decided to start with DIARMUID because, for one thing, I feel he's one of the most powerful servants that is currently underestimated. Like, out of all the servants that I'm thinking right now, he's one of the most powerful and is constantly underestimated by the fandom. So and please, you can, in the comment section, please, you can debate anything that I say in this video. But I please urge you that before you go into the comment section and debate me, please go ahead and watch the whole video, because I have a lot of people that they watch something I say in a video and they go straight to the comment section and start typing, when later in the video I address that same point, and now I have to address it again in the comment section. So if you're gonna debate me, please do so, but please watch the entire video before you do. Also, if you want to have interesting Fate conversations, go join me on my Discord. There's a few guys in there that love talking about Fate. We talk about Fate all the time. We debate sometimes. And so if you're one of those hardcore fans and you want to talk about Fate and talk about certain servants and whatnot, please go ahead, join me on my Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description box below. So with that being said, let's just jump right into the DIARMUID. First things first, let's talk about his stats. I should do this instead. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this instead, because yep, this is way better. I'm gonna do this instead so you guys can have a clear picture of the stats. So his stats, they're not like OP or crazy. They're pretty much average if you think about it. For example, strength B, which is not bad. It's above average strength. Endurance C, average endurance. His mana is D, and luck E, as most lancers. Lancers have terrible luck. And noble phantasm B. And you notice that I skipped his agility, because his agility is his most impressive stat. And a lot of lancers usually have like high agility. They usually do. But if you see his stats, you would think like, oh, this servant is not all that great. Big deal. But the true strength of the DIARMUID is in, one, his agility and his skills. Like, his skills make him super OP. Like, this dude is, and I'm gonna go into details as to why he's so OP. That's the whole point of this video. So let's just start off right off with the class skills. The class skills is pretty simple for him. It's just magic resistance. Um, it's not that big deal, magic resistance, but it gives him a certain edge against certain servants and whatnot. And by the way, he has magic resistance, but his noble phantasm, one of his noble phantasms, it's kind of boosts this by a lot. So basically, his skills complement his stats, and like the skills help each other, and his stats are like, he's so well crafted. Like his skills are so well suited for, like, this dude is a combat master. Like this dude is amazing. Like, oh my god. So let's see his personal skills, so you can have an idea. So Eye of the Mind True. Let's talk about Eye of the Mind True rank B. This is the same skill that allowed Archer Emiya to completely dissect and determine the best course of action to use against the Noble Phantasm Gabe Bulk. This is also the same skill that he used to deduce that if it wasn't for Gabe Bulk's broken ability of it can be dodged because it'll change directions and stab you anyways, this is the same skill that allowed Emiya to determine that if it wasn't for that broken ability, he could have dodged Gabe Bulk. Now, that's Gabe Bulk is said to move, I believe, is a Mach 10. That's insane. So if Emiya, with his average agility, determined that he would have been capable of dodging something like Gabe Bulk, DIARMUID, with his A+ agility, should be able to dodge attacks that are way faster than Gabe Bulk. I would say that unless the attack moves insanely fast, like, because Gabe Bulk honestly is one of the fastest attacks that we've seen in Fate, with the exception of, maybe, I'm not even sure, but with the exception of probably servants like Achilles with his chariot, which can move at infinite speed if given like the right amount of time of riding time. Basically his speed can increase tremendously, and maybe someone like Richard Lionheart, which I've heard is extremely fast, maybe those servants. But even then, like, if Emiya could determine that if it wasn't for Gabe Bulk's ability, he probably could have dodged it, an attack that moves on Mach 10, it's incredible to even fathom the attacks that the DIARMUID would be able to dodge. And he demonstrated his skills. Like, he fought Saber in Fate Zero, and I'm gonna show you real quick. Saber under Kirutsugu has an agility of A, usually is a B, but under Kirutsugu, when she fought the DIARMUID, her agility was an A, and the DIARMUID was still completely outclassing her in every sense of the word. Now, what I find impressive about that is that Saber is one of the most complete swordsmen in the verse. Like, she's the king of knights, for God's sakes. Like, this woman has fighting combat experience for years, like for days. Like, yo, this woman is insane. And if you want to know how insane I think she is, you should go check out my Mordred versus Saber video, where I go into detail of how OP Saber actually is. And even with the agility boost that she got from Kirutsugu, she was still being completely outclassed in combat by DIARMUID. And it's funny because one of his other skills is Knight's Tactics. And this skill is so freaking broken. Basically, and I'm gonna put it right here for you. I'll put it somewhere that you guys can read it. I'll put it I'll put it up here. All right, so I want to make sure you guys are able to read that. So basically it says, it's a battle mythology in which one gaps the flow of battle and induces opponent to make mistakes. Like, he induces the opponents to make mistakes. Not only is this guy a god, like this dude is a god in close combat, literally. Like, he was able to completely outclass the King of Knights. And on top of that, this dude is able to make his opponents make mistakes as if he even needs to. Like, he already is a monster in close combat. Like, he doesn't need for opponents to make mistakes. Like, this dude is already crazy as hell, and he has agility A+ plus Eye of the Mind. This dude is crazy powerful. Now remember, Saber has as one of her skills instinct, and her instinct almost allow her to look into the future or predict opponent's moves. And even then with her agility boost, with her instant skill, even then DIARMUID was completely outclassing her. And on top of that, he's able to make opponents make mistakes. Can you fathom how OP that is? That is crazy OP. And let's keep reading here. So even without being a match in strength, a skill not for self-strengthening, but in by a check of failure for the opponent, consists of composed observation and powers to wager on a momentary chance of victory. So basically, even if he's not a match in strength for you, this dude is still able to make you make a mistake and capitalize on it and win. So just by that, this guy already has a chance of beating some of the top tier servants. Just by that alone. I mean, it's not a certain win, it's not a certain victory, but based on this skill, he has a certain chance of beating top tier servants. It's stated right on the skill. So not only is this highly underestimated servant has a skill that already proves that he has some chance when he's fighting against anybody. He has a chance regardless of whoever he's fighting. He has a chance of victory, which is most that a lot of the other servants have when they're fighting servants like freaking Gilgamesh and Karna, and like this guy starts off with a chance of beating those servants, which is more than a lot of servants have. So this guy already is crazy powerful. Now, his next skill, well, before we get into the next skill, remember how I said that Knight Tactics is so freaking incredible, right? Well, and remember how I also said that he completely outclassed Saber in Phase Zero. Well, the crazy thing about this, that according to the Type Moon wiki, and I don't know how reliable this is in terms of how accurate it is, according to this wiki, DIARMUID didn't even have uh that skill in Fate Zero, and even then he still outclassed Saber. So that is pretty insane. That is pretty insane. So basically, in hand-to-hand combat, this dude is a freaking god. Now, a lot of the things that people say about him is like, oh, he's yes, he's a god at close combat, but he's not all that great because or not as top tier because he doesn't have like one of these like highly powerful noble phantasms like Excalibur, sorry, like Excalibur or any of those type of like really big powerful noble phantasms. Well, in my opinion, his noble phantasms are incredibly useful. Incredibly useful. In some cases, even more useful than those highly destructive noble phantasms. For example, I think that we can safely say that a servant like somebody like Karna, for example, or somebody like Gilgamesh who has like Ea, or somebody like Saber that as we saw, they don't start off with something like Ea or Excalibur or Vishakti. They don't usually start like that. They start in close combat. And this dude, as we stated, is a freaking god in close combat. Not only that, but his noble phantasms, one of them basically his noble phantasm are his two spears. His yellow one and his red one. We're gonna refer to them as such because I'm not trying to pronounce both of his noble phantasms. So we're going to refer to as the yellow one and the red one. So basically, one of them has the ability that any wound that it inflicts, it cannot be healed. So basically, if DIARMUID in his godlike close combat inflicts a basically, let's say he hits one of your major arteries, for example, right? That means you will bleed until you die because the bleeding will not stop. That wound will not heal. So basically, if he hits any major artery, you're pretty much dead. That's something that a lot of people fail to see. Also, another thing that people fail to see is that yes, he doesn't have one of those big explosive noble phantasms, but if somebody like Saber, for example, who requires both her arms to unleash her Excalibur blast, if he hits one of your arms and you're no longer able to use that arm, then you can't use your noble phantasm. Or somebody, let's say like Kukulin, who needs his arms to throw his gay bow. So let's say DIARMUID hits both his arms. Then now Ku cannot use gay bow anymore. He's not able to throw it at full power. Even if he's able to use it, he's not able to throw it at full power. And your arms are useless to you now. So basically, this dude is able to stop a lot of noble phantasms if this guy gets in close. And that's a strategy that he would definitely use. For one thing, he has Eye of the Mind True, which means that this guy is always gonna choose the best course of action in a fight. Nice tactics. He'll force you to make mistakes So he can inflict those hits that will not allow you to use your Noble Phantasm anymore. So he has the perfect set of skills plus an A plus agility to back that up. So that means that he'll definitely get some hits in. How many hits you would say? Well, and somebody like Saber, who I have said before is almost untouchable in close combat, he was able to strike her twice with an A agility, with her agility pretty much boosted because it's usually a B. Under Kirutsuku it was an A. With her agility boosted and her instant skill active, he was able to hit her twice. So what does that say for anybody who doesn't have an instant skill or an A agility? This dude is gonna massacre most servants in close combat. And not only that, when he fought Saber, according to the wiki, he didn't even have Night Tactics. So that's even more hits that he's gonna be able to inflict on most servants, because Night Tactics is gonna make those servants constantly make mistakes, and he's gonna capitalize and strike you each time you make a mistake. Not only that, but you don't have the agility to keep up with this guy. You can't hit him because of true Eye of the Mind True, and you're constantly making mistakes. Like, this dude will massacre most servants in close combat. So that's pretty crazy. And the thing is that the more he hits you, the less useful you are. So if he's able to get one of your legs, now you can move as well. If he gets one of your arm, now you can block as well. You know, and this guy is constantly gonna push. Like, this dude in close combat is so amazing that he completely outclassed the King of Knights. Stopped her from using Excalibur right off the bat. Was able to hit her twice when Saber is almost untouchable in close combat. To clarify how untouchable Saber is in close combat, somebody like Berserker Heracles, who has an A, I think it's A plus agility combined with Mad Enhancement, which boosts that A plus agility, was not able to touch Saber once. He was, and you can go back and watch that fight, he was not able to touch Saber once in that fight that they had in the cemetery. So that's how crazy it is. And then comes the DIARMUID and completely outclasses Saber. So basically, this guy would massacre most servants in close combat. And not only that, for each hit, there's a chance that most servants won't be able to use their Noble Phantasms. Now, I mentioned before that he has magic resistance, right? So not only does he have magic resistance, but his second Noble Phantasm allows him to bypass anything that's made of magic or anything that's made of mana. So basically, if you have an armor that was crafted by magic, it's like it's not even there. Or an armor that's enchanted, it's like it's not even there. If you have something like a mana shield, this dude will go right through it. So most defenses that are made of magic, this dude can probably go, not probably, he can go right through those things. I'm not sure what Rogue Ayas is made of, but it seems it's made of mana. and that's one of the most powerful shields that we've seen in the series, Rogue Eyes. Well, sorry for those people that use Rogue Eyes like Emiya, but the DIARMUID, if in fact Rogue Eyes is made of mana, I haven't checked, but if Rogue Eyes is indeed made of mana, the DIARMUID could go right through it. You see how insane that is? You see how insane that is? So, and I dare to say that the DIARMUID using that spear could maybe block, because he has magic resistance as well. That's what I said before when I said like all his skills complement each other perfectly. Like for example, like Eye of the Mind is enhanced by Knight's Tactics and vice versa, and then his Noble Phantasms enhance his magic resistance and vice versa, and then his other and then his Eye of the Mind enhances his agility and vice versa. And this is like his skills are perfectly crafted. Like this dude is a close combat machine. And not only that, he's able to stop most servants who have this powerful, huge attacks from using those attacks. And if those attacks are made of magic, well, you're screwed. You're now screwed because he could probably block it or dissipate it or throw his spear right through it. So that is pretty insane. And the best part for last is that no matter how powerful a female servant might be, thanks to his love spot, if that servant doesn't have magic resistance, she is useless. There you guys have it. The DIARMUID, in a nutshell. One of the most underrated servants in the series, and in my opinion, one of the most useful, and I dare say, when it comes to overall battle, he's one of the strongest. Unless somebody like Gilgamesh comes right up and starts with something like Aya, he is screwed. Because as we've said before, people with A plus agility could probably get through or get close to Gilgamesh. Depends on how serious Gilgamesh is, of course, but as we know, Gilgamesh is never serious. And on top of that, Knight's Tactics, which forces servants to make mistakes. Gilgamesh is the king of making mistakes and underestimating people. Therefore, high chance of beating Gil. High chance of dodging Gil's attacks. High chance of getting close. And as we know, when people get close to Gilgamesh, he's not the best at close combat. And the DIARMUID is kind of a god. And if you're a female with no magic resistance, per se, somebody like Jane of Arc Altar, you're useless. They fall in love with this dude. They don't want to fight him. They don't want to do anything to hurt him. Like, they completely fall in love with this dude. Hell, they might help him, you know? So there you guys have it. The DIARMUID, one of the best and most underrated servants in the Fate franchise. And by the way, by the way, if we're talking here about a Grail War scenario, a lot of masters, they like to, for example, go to sleep at night and put barriers, magical barriers around their house and whatnot. Well, the DIARMUID can just go right through those barriers. And granted, his personality probably wouldn't allow him to kill somebody in his sleep, because he's a lot more proud than that, and he wouldn't do something like something cowardly like that on his own volition. But if somebody ordered him by command seal and was like, hey, go to X and Y servant master's house and go right through their magical barrier and assassinate them in their sleep, he can just do that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this dude is just overall so useful, so freaking powerful. This dude is crazy, man. Like, this dude is really amazing. And I'm gonna switch it up here a little bit because I already went over all his stuff. Like, yeah, like the DIARMUID is freaking powerful, and this video is already over the 30-minute mark, so I don't want to talk too much. But yeah, that's the DIARMUID in a nutshell. Powerful as hell, super powerful, and very, very, very underrated. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you like the video, please, 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 please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have a friend who says something, oh, I don't like the DIARMUID, show them this video. Show them this video, because the DIARMUID is one of the most useful servants in Fate. So if you like the video, please like, please subscribe. I'll be happy to see all your comments in the comment section below. I know this video is gonna have a lot of comments. And as I said, if you made it to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was a long video. Thank you so much. And as I always say, have a nice day, guys. Catch you guys in the next one. The DIARMUID. Crazy.